Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here this
Thank you.
evening. I want to quickly introduce everyone, and you're seated in chronological order to make it easy for me to remember who served when. We have Mayor Ron Mullen, Mayor Frank Cooksey, Mayor Bruce Todd. I'm going to call you Senator Kirk Watts, as your state senator now.
Appropriate.
Mayor Will Wynn, Mayor Lee Leffingwell, and our current mayor, Steve Adler. Most of us have been here a long time. And you know, old Austin folks often say, oh, I miss this, oh, I miss that. So what do you guys miss the most about the old Austin? And what do you appreciate the most about the new Austin, modern day Austin?
Looking back in the period of the 1950s, I have a warm feeling for that time, because it was the time when I was in the University of Texas and just graduated from Austin High School. And the town was growing. It went to the huge population of about 135,000. But I really believe that every person who's lived in Austin has a favorite time that they identify as the time that they feel like Austin was just the greatest at that time. I represented Stevie Ray Vaughn at one point as a lawyer, and so I have.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did, and I have some real warm feelings about our music people in Austin. But they're great, wonderful things. Everybody here has memories about what they love about Austin.
Stevie Ray a good guy?
Was what?
Was Stevie Ray Vaughn a good guy?
He was a wonderful guy. And I went to the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland with him. And that was one of the highlights of being able to represent Stevie Ray Vaughn. But, he was a wonderful guy, and it was sad that he died in that helicopter crash.
Well, I sponsored the renaming, or the co-naming, actually. We didn't rename West 2nd Street, but we gave it the co-name of Willie Nelson Boulevard, which you can use either one now, and of course the post office will deliver the mail. And right after that, a private group got together and had commissioned a statue of Willie Nelson, which is right across the street from the City Hall on 2nd Street in front of some hotel there. I forget what the name of it is. It's the W Hotel.
And next to the new home of Austin City Limits, I would like to say.
We were getting ready to do the unveiling of the statue.
Willie, you are a treasure and a blessing. And you are our friend. And I know I speak for everyone here and for millions of others from all over the world when I say, Willie, we love you.
Of course, Willie was the guest of honor. And he kept insisting, it was in April, he kept insisting that it be on April 20th, and that the actual event occur at 4:20 p.m. in the afternoon. And I've always wondered why he wanted that, why he wanted it that way.
I
think I've subsequently figured it out some. But at the time, I really didn't know why he wanted that, but it doesn't matter to me. If that's what he wants to do, 4:20 in the afternoon is good for me.
When I listen to people talk about their favorite moments in Austin, I hear a spirit that kind of runs through all of those, and it involves creativity. I mean, here we are talking about music the way we are, and Austin always kind of had that spirit of it was a special place. It was a green place. It was a pretty place. It was a place that invited creativity and invited openness to the way people could think about things. I mean, the Armadillo World Headquarters, which I didn't get to experience that because it had already closed by the time we got here, but that was a place where the rednecks and the hippies both were at the same time. It was an inviting place that had creativity. And I see it still that way. I think the fact that we are a focal point in a worldwide knowledge and information economy is an outgrowth of a place that enjoyed creativity and can continue that creativity. And so that spirit is still there. I think it's fun to reminisce about the reasons we stuck. But if we stop and think about it, it's still attracting people for the very same reasons we all ended up staying.
I think that's real true, and I put a little bit of a twist on it with the creativity, because I think it's also that in this city, taking risks is rewarded,
Right.
and failing is not punished the way that it's punished in other cities. And I think that helps make this a creative place. So when
Keeping
people say,
it weird.
keep Austin weird, to me, is exactly that. This is a city where it's okay to try things. It's okay early on to change the color of your hair. This is the city where you can wear a thong and go bicycle down Congress Avenue, but it's also in the ideas. You know, I get asked a lot now that South by Southwest has passed 30 years. Now to comment on the difference, how South by has changed in that period of time. And I go back to what you say, and I say, you know, in the most important ways, it hasn't. You know, 2 years ago, it was about an incredible set of creatives, artists, musicians that were wonderful, but really couldn't get out of the local market to make it regionally and nationally. So we created in this community this place where creatives could meet record labels and then be able to get exposure and distribution. And that's what South by is today, except it's interactive. And the creatives are the entrepreneurs that are coming up with new platforms. The record labels are the venture capitalists, and they're looking for the same kind of distribution. We are the city where Willie Nelson came not only to reinvent country music, but who listened to country music. This is the city where dinner and a movie got reinvented with Alamo. It's where the grocery store was reinvented. So while things change in this city, I think I agree with you that what is core here has been the same, and I think that's why we have more internet high-tech startups per capita than any other city, because it's built into this culture of trying something, iterating new ideas.
If I'd have called my dad and said, I've got this great idea, I'm gonna open me a grocery store and I'm gonna sell bean sprouts and granola bars, he would have said, son, that is
package them yourself.
Yeah, that's right. He had said, son, that is a weird idea. But of course, in this town, it was nurtured and that's, it may not be grocery stores, but it's something else that's weird. It's something else that's different, but it's creative. And we develop an energy around that.
You know, I was brought in here. I came here in 1966, and I would not want to go back to that for anything in the world. I think that was like a Waco. You didn't have opportunity.
Nothing against Waco.
You didn't have opportunity. You didn't have. Well, a lot of folks in Austin wanted it to be like Waco. Don't bring corporations, send out letters and stop it. Don't build roads. Don't build buildings too tall. Well, I'm just saying, the city's great because it has a balance between environment, which did extremely well, and business. But it was a chore for a lot of us that wanted. And what I'm saying is this: I said in campaigns, in arguments against people that were trying to stop everything, I want my children to be able to live in Austin, Texas when they graduate. I want my grandchildren to be here. And I said that over and over. Because when you had only the state and the university, and you could sell shoes, and I could sell insurance, and there just wasn't a whole lot of opportunity. My greatest thing is right now, because my grandchildren live here, my children live here, they're married, they have jobs, and I have the third great-grandchild coming. I couldn't ask for anything better than that. I don't want to go back to some old time and think about it. I love where I am right now.
I agree with you, and I kind of, in my own mind, I put Austin into three historic eras. There was before the 60s, that Austin, the one you talked about with the university, in the state government and the car dealers was basically what we had here. And then we changed when the hippies came to town in the late 60s and early 70s with their creativity, they changed the city again. And they've been a political force in this city for 30 or 40 years. But now we're beginning to go through another transitioning from the hippies to the hipsters. These are the high-tech people, the people that walk around with their shirt tails hanging out and their thong shoes, but have made this city into an economic powerhouse. And I've said this many times when I was mayor, a good quality of life begins with a good job.
Absolutely.
And that's what economic development does for you. And a lot of people resist that, especially when we were going through a transition in the way we did economic incentive agreements. And I'm sure several of us here have dealt with that. It was hard. It was a hard sell for a long time to realize that you have to actively recruit companies to come here. And you have to have things in place that make it palatable to the taxpayer, but it was necessary then, and maybe someday it'll be necessary again.